Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Sas here. I'm here to do another review of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. This episode was a little meh. Not much going on, so don't be expecting no long video. Alright? So let's get into it. Let's talk about Angela and Michael since I did not talk about them last week. Alright? So, as we know, Michael and Angela was talking to Michael's mom. And Michael's mom says that it is the Nigerian way that, Nigerian women and men have children. Alright? So she is expecting to have some grandbabies. Well, she's looking at Angela. Angela, 85 years old, all shriveled up, all miserable. Okay, so she knows that Angela ain't about to have no baby. So she's like, if you can't give me a grandchild, Michael can go find another woman who can. Okay? A little young son. So, of course, Angela, she's like, oh, no. no, not today, not tomorrow, not next week. Okay? It ain't gonna happen. So, to the present day. So, Angela and Michael are by the pool. And so Angela is like, listen, I'm going to need to talk to Michael about this, all right? Is he willing to go have sex with another woman if I can't have a child for him? If you can't, Angela, you're 96 years old. It ain't going to happen, all right? So she tells Michael, she was like, listen, I know what your mama is saying, all right? In your culture, it is expected of you to have a child. But, I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm 102 years old. I can't be going around here having no kids, okay? So, if I give you permission, if I say yes, for you to go have sex with another woman, would you do it? All right, now here is Michael hemming and hawing and was like, it's up to you. And of course, Angela flies off of the handle. And she was like, are you kidding me? That is not what I wanted him to say. I wanted him to say, no, absolutely not. I love you, okay? Of course I won't sleep with another woman to have a child. Okay, if we don't have children, then so be it. We just don't have children. I want to be with you, but that's not the answer that Angela got. Michael, of course he wants a child. Of course he wants to sleep with a woman who can give him a child. But he chose to be with the woman who chain smokes and berates him every chance she gets, and she's 113 years old. So, Michael had a brilliant plan to go and see a fertility doctor. To see if this 115-year-old woman, still got some stuff down there, that if there is a possibility that, she can have a child. Now, we all know the answer. So this doctor is all up in her coochie, and she's looking at it, and she was like, oh, okay, well, you got some dead eggs. All right. Now, Angela's already told her that she hasn't had a period in 7 months. All right. So the doctor's like, listen, honey, okay, you old. You're 118 years old. All right. You can give up having babies. You and Michael, y'all need to think of something else to do. So here's Angela. She's disappointed. And she was like, listen, I'm going to have to ask my daughter one more time. All right. And if my daughter says no, then I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want Michael to leave me because I can't have kids. Or my daughter, won't have a child. Angela, your daughter ain't going to have no baby for you, girl. What is wrong with you? Okay, there's something wrong with Angela. There's something wrong with all these women. Okay? That's Angela and Michael. All right. Let's go to Avery and Omar. All right, so Avery finally broke the news to her mama and said, listen, I'm going to be living in Syria. And her mama is hot, okay? And she's upset, and she's worried, and she's scared, and she storms off. They chase her. And she says, I have been asking you every single day what your plan is. And you've been telling me this is not it, okay? Syria was off of the table. And now you're telling me the night that I'm going home that you are going to go to Syria? She was like, oh my God. So her mom she's upset. And as I said before, her mom has every right to be upset. If that was my daughter, I would be scared to death. But as we know, Avery, 19-year-old white girl from Ohio, she thinks Syria ain't nothing. Okay? She thinks that she's going to get down there and it's going to be, good old times. So, her mom, she has to go back home, and her mom was like, listen, there's nothing I can do. I am glad that she married Omar. She was like, but listen, she's going to come back home, and I have a couple of months to convince Avery Syria is not it. So Avery and Omar are talking, and they're talking about the future and talking about living in Syria, and Omar keeps saying she's my wife now, I'm her husband now, blah, blah, blah. He don't realize that he just married a 19-year-old girl. Okay. He's going to realize real quick what that entails. Avery is not mature enough to have this type of relationship. Avery is not mature enough to go to Syria. Avery come talking about she likes to have fun, that she likes to dance. He was like, no. Okay? You can't be doing all that now. Okay? You have to realize what you done married into. And she was like, well, I like to have fun. I'm loud. I like to dance. And she was like, I'm going to dance in the street. Omar was like, oh, no, you ain't. Omar was like, you can't do that. You definitely can't do that while you in Syria. Avery thinks that she's going to get to Syria and do the Tootsie Roll in the middle of the street. Is that what you think, Avery? You think that you're going to be doing the Cabbage Patch while you dodging bullets? Is that what you think you're going to do? Lord have mercy. Avery, if you don't take your butt back to Ohio and sit down. Now, this is just a mess, y'all. This is a big mess. Hashtag Cabbage Patch in Syria. That's Avery, child. Let's move on. Lord have mercy. Let's talk about Akyini and Benjamin. Y'all, what happened? What happened? It is off the rails, okay? So, Benjamin, he got approval to marry Akyini so he can finally get out of Fidel's house. Okay, so he goes to his Airbnb that he had, had on hold when he first got there. So Akyini comes over, showing her around. They go into the bedroom, and Akyini is like, there's 2 beds? And so he was like, yeah. So they go out there and they talk. And so, honey, Akyini is going to be spending the week with Benjamin. And so Benjamin said, what does your family think about that? She was like, well, I told my mom, I didn't tell my dad. Okay, my dad don't know none of this. He will not appreciate me under your roof, okay? So, he don't know. And so Benjamin was like, well, where does he think you at? And she said, a safari. And he said, for a week? How many lions, tigers, and bears you gonna be seeing, girl? So, she was like, look, he don't need to know. Benjamin, look, his name Ben and he ain't in it. So, then they start talking about, they staying there. And so Benjamin says, well, you're going to sleep in the bedroom and I'll sleep on the couch. And so she was like, Benjamin, there's 2 beds, okay? There's no need for you to do that. And he was like, yeah, I know, but, the temptation will be there. And she was like, temptation? She was like, so if I walk around, how would that tempt you? And honey, Benjamin got to sweating. His face turned red. I said, Lord have mercy. So Benjamin is saying that, since he wants to be a pastor, he goes to church, he wants to set a good example for, the people of his church, for himself, you don't supposed to have sex before marriage, so he wants to wait till marriage, and he thought Akyini was on board. Akyini's confessional, Akyini was like, that's odd. Akyini was like, I want some booty, okay? She didn't say that, but she was kind of like, I want some. So, they go to the zoo. Was it the zoo that they went to? Anyway, they went to the zoo. And of course, Benjamin brings up his son and how he misses his son and how, he wants to make sure that Akyini is the right woman to introduce to his son, because his son don't know anything about Akyini. So he wants to know how Akyini will be as a stepmother, okay? So Akyini is talking to him, and so she was like, I'm nervous about meeting your son, and what will he call me? And so he was like, well, we get married, you will be his stepmom. And so she was like, well, I'm not a mother. I'm not a mother. So I feel some type of way about that. I didn't have this child. It's your child, okay? You're his father. I'm not his mother, and I don't feel comfortable in being someone's, stepmom. And of course, here comes Benjamin, another side eye. Benjamin's like, I'm shocked by this. I'm shocked that she has reservations on being called a stepmom. I just don't know. I just don't understand where she's coming from. Well, I don't understand that either, because she knew that Benjamin had a son. I mean, what do you want Benjamin's son to call you? Akyini? Miss Akyini? Oh, well, okay. Akyini ain't feeling it. All right, nothing whatsoever. So they go out to dinner, okay? And Benjamin orders some lamb meatballs. And let me tell y'all something, friends. I've had lamb meatballs. Now, I haven't had, Kenya lamb meatballs. But I've had lamb meatballs at a Greek restaurant one time. Y'all, they are so delicious. Oh my God. It just made my mouth water when I heard that. I was like, oh my God, I know they're going to be so delicious. But anyway, I got sidetracked. So they're at dinner, and Akyini was like, I need a drink. So she got her one margarita. One, okay? And so Benjamin was like, okay, you can have one, but that's it, all right? No more drinking for you, all right? And Akyini starts laughing and giggling, and she was like, I'm drunk. And I'm like, what type of margarita was that, gal? And it wasn't even one of those big jumbo Super Bowl margaritas. It was one of them old little ones. And I said, you got drunk off of one margarita? Girl, what they put in that? Gasoline? So she is slurring her words. She is giggling, and honey, Benjamin is shocked. Benjamin says, oh my God. I had no idea she would react like this. I had no idea that she would sit here drinking and get drunk. And he was like, this is not what I want as a wife. I am a man who's trying to be a preacher. And here this woman that I love, that I want to be my wife, is sitting across me drunk. And honey, this is Akyini. Can I have another one? Akyini said, bring me another one. Bring me another drink. And honey, Benjamin said, don't you bring her no more. She is cut off. Okay, so here we have Benjamin done jumped through every hoop in the world, okay, to get Akyini. Alright, so he done brought up the son. Akyini don't know if she wants to be, called stepmom. They go to the restaurant where there's delicious lamb meatballs. And here is Akyini getting towed up from the floor up. Child, I just don't know about these two. I'm still rooting for him though. But honey, Akyini, you need to gather yourself. And Benjamin, calm down. It was one margarita. Okay? Calm down. Okay, speaking of drunks. Honey, let's talk about Darcey. When I tell you I had a good belly busted laugh over Darcey. Honey, Darcey, there's something wrong with her. Medication needs to be upped. She needs a couple of AA meetings. I mean, there's something wrong with her. She obviously is insecure. All right, so this whole Albania trip have been a disaster from jump. Okay, and here's Darcey. Darcey come talk about, this trip has been terrible. I never should have listened to my sister, okay? And you know what? I'm in fear that Tom is not going to propose proposed to me. Will somebody please kick Darcey into reality? Honey, Tom ain't gonna propose to you, sugar. You out here looking real stupid. You out here looking real childish. You out here looking real insecure. And you think this man is going to propose to you? Well, honey, if he didn't propose to you by now, the night that you just had, it is sealed. So they go to the club with Stacy and Florian. And honey, it went off of the rails from jump. Here's Darcey, tits all hanging out, face oily. She slurred her speech. I was like, how much alcohol did she have before she got to the club? Because let me tell you something. When she got to the club, she was already hammered. She was already gone, okay? So, of course, here, her and her ditzy sister, both of them dumb, they're going back and forth, okay? They kept saying, come over here, that's my man, this is my man, that's my man, my man, my man. That's all they said. And it was tit for tat, going back and forth. And so Tom is looking at this, and Tom said, oh my God. Tom literally had to look at Darcey and was like, why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this? Florian even had to step in and said, listen, okay, it's getting a little bit out of hand. Why are you doing this? And then here's Stacy trying to talk. Florian told Stacy to shut it. He was like, shut it. Okay, I got this. You didn't have nothing, Florian. You can't calm that thing down. Honey, Darcey is a train wreck. So then Darcey, she gets upset. She goes outside. She starts crying. And then she got to talk about, I don't think he loves me. I tell you what, Tom, when I first met Tom, I was like, Tom ain't nothing but a douchebag. But now I feel bad for Tom. I want Tom to run. Get ready, get ready, get ready to run. Tom, please leave her. I'm sorry. Darcey is a mess. She is sitting in front of your face, toe up drunk, tits hanging out, crying every 5 minutes, slurred speech, spitting all over the place. Then her and Stacy gets into it. Stacy brings up the ex-boyfriend. She looks at Tom and she says, I don't think you love me. Tom was like, why would you even say that? He said, why would you say that? He said, why are you acting like this? He said, you was cutting the shine with your sister. You're trying to embarrass your sister. And he was like, and now you're asking me all these questions. He was like, I don't even know who you are. And so he says in his confessional, he said, child, he said, I don't even know who Darcey is. Okay. I don't know if I can spend the rest of my life with this woman. No, you can't, Tom. I can answer that question. Tom, no, you can't. Darcey got her own issues. Darcey just needs to go somewhere. There is something wrong with Darcey. Okay? Now let's move on. Alright, so let's talk about Zed and Rebecca. Child, this is going to be real quick. Alright? So Zed tells Rebecca that he has to meet up with his sister to see how she accepts Rebecca. Now, while they doing all this talking, Zed says he needs some money. Alright? So here is Rebecca pulling out this money. And so she was like, well, how much? Now, let's stop right there, friends. Before she pulled out that money, she should have looked at Zed and said, what this for? Okay, what you need money for? Because, you know, as y'all know, he got a job. He's supposedly working some TV show. Okay, now me personally, I think he's the Tommy on Martin. He ain't got no job. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Alright, so Rebecca didn't do that. Rebecca didn't ask the important question, okay? She's just, you know, handing out money. And so he was like, you know, 500, whatever it is over there, which will equal out to be $200 in American money. So she hands it over. Now, when he was standing there, he said it was a gift for his sister. I heard him say that, but I guess Rebecca, you know, didn't hear that. But he said a gift for his sister. But Rebecca was like, why is he not telling me what this money's for? $200 American money, that is a whole lot of money. Well, yes, Rebecca, it is. But you chose to give it to him. All right, you did that. It wasn't nobody's fault but your own. Okay, so here comes Zed. He meets up with his sister. All right, and they go ring shopping. Zed's sister's like, why are we here? And so he was like, well, you know, I want to give Rebecca an engagement ring. And so the sister looked, because you know the sister don't care for Rebecca anyway. And so she was like, what? She was like, do you have that kind of money? And he says, I got the money from Rebecca. Did y'all see the look on the sister's face? Even the sister looked at him cross-eyed and was like, I do what now? Rebecca's money. And she was like, you know that ain't right. You know that's foul. Why you doing that? So we have Zed, who supposedly have a job, okay, who went and asked his woman for money so he can go and buy her an engagement ring with her money. So Rebecca, she's sitting out there smoking somewhere outside. And so she was like, you know, I am bothered by this. I cannot believe Zed asked me for that much money and didn't tell me what it was for. And so then she brings up her ex, all right? And she was like, you know, that would be something that my ex would have done. That's how my ex treated me. All right? And she was like, I'm bothered by this. You know, what if he is using me? Rebecca, let me enlighten something for you, okay? With your filtered face and this filtered relationship, honey. He conned you into getting a rental for 2 weeks. Because, you know, he couldn't get the rental. I guess because he ain't had no money. So you had to get the rental for 2 weeks. You driving him around, okay? Now, you done gave him $200 in American money. That's what you did. Now, if that's what your ex would have done, then you should have known better. You should have said, oh, no, I ain't giving you nothing. Where we going to go eat? You got any lamb meatballs around here? So that is telling me, Rebecca, that you just set yourself up for punishment. N-O. No. Okay? If you didn't want to give that man money, you shouldn't have gave Zed money. Zed foul. He is foul. All around foul. That boy ain't got no job. He ain't got no money. So Zed comes up. And so she talks to Zed. And so Zed was like, I was given, I needed that money to get a gift for my sister. And of course, you know, Rebecca side-eyed. And she was like, well, that's a whole lot of money. You know, maybe I didn't have that money to give. And so Zed said, well, you know, it's hard out here for a pimp. I don't have no money. You know, you offered. You know, every time I talk to you on the phone, Zed says that here's Rebecca. Is there anything I can help you with? Do you need anything? Well, he took you up on it. And I believe him when he says that. I believe him when he says that you be on there talking about if you need anything, just let me know. You did that. Well, he took you up on the offer, and then you look like Ned in the funny papers, Rebecca. Okay? So, you're going to have to deal with it. All right, the money gone now. He done went somewhere and said he was going to buy an engagement ring. Child, a whole bag of mess. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about Neutron. Let's talk about Timothy and Jennifer. Now, we left them two in the bed, kissing, holding, moaning. And they done ran the camera crew out. So we assumed, or I should say I assumed, that they got busy. Wrong. Neutron let us know that it was no partaking of the sex. He said that his head wasn't in it. Which head? He said he couldn't get his mind right, y'all. He said that he couldn't focus. All right. So he pulled back, not out, but back. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me get serious. So sleep with Jennifer. He said that a whole lot was going on. He didn't feel right. He says that he just do not want to get hurt. All right. He says he can't go through that again. All right. So he pulled back and he said no to the sex. Well, here's Jennifer. Of course, we know Jennifer. She wants the sex. All right. It took him 3 days to kiss. So she's feeling, frustrated. And what's going to happen and you know what happens when you get sexually frustrated, child. We grown, right? Are we grown up in here, y'all? Are we grown up in here, sisters? Are we grown? Okay, let's talk. Now, we know what happens when you get sexually frustrated. You just lash out, all right? You need to release some stress. If you don't have any type of sexual activity with someone that you care about, okay, it builds up and then it's on. All right, it is on. You are going to start to lash out, and that's exactly what happened. Jennifer, she put on a good face. She was smiling and she was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know why we didn't partake in the sex, but he says that he just it didn't feel right and his head wasn't there. Okay, fine. So they go to this national park, and she's trying to make light of things, and she's talking and laughing, and honey, Timothy, he's not for it. All right, Timothy is not for the national parks. So they get up there and there is this swing. So Jennifer was like, ooh, let's do the swing, all right? And so he's like, no. He's like, no. She's like, what do you mean no? He was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to do it. She was like, what do you mean no? She says, listen, I've been good, all right? I've been doing everything to make you happy, and I haven't said anything. All right, you can't do this for me. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And so she goes off. Honey, she calls this man a coward. She calls this man a P word, P-U-S-S-Y. She says that he don't appreciate her. She says that he is a coward. And so here's Timmy. Timmy was like, listen, all right, I'm not going to keep taking this, all right? I already feel down about what happened the night before, okay? And she keeps screaming at me. She keeps wanting me to do something that I don't want to do. And he says, I'm just sick of it, He says, I'm stressed out. And he says, I don't even know if this is the woman I want in my life. I just don't want to be hurt again. He keeps talking about his ex, his ex, his ex. That's what they all keep talking about. Him, Rebecca, Darcey, the ex, the ex, the ex. Honey, how are you going to move on when you can't get past the past, child? So here is Jennifer. She's still going on, and then she just storms off. She had enough. So Timothy, he goes over there. He tries talking to her, but child, it just ain't going to work. And she was like, listen, you ain't the man for me. She says, it has just been, it just isn't working. She said, everything that I want to do, you don't want to do. She said, you're in a mood. I mean, she's not saying this, verbatim, but y'all know what I'm saying. She's just fed up, all right? She's sexually frustrated because she brought up the night before. And honey, that was like, to him, and he got pissed. And he was like, why's she bringing that up? All right, she is emasculating me. All right, first she calls me a coward, then she calls me the P word, and now she brings up about how we didn't have sex last night. He was like, no. He says, I don't even know if I want to be with this woman. And so he storms off. Guys, I'm going to leave my boo for last. All right, let's talk about Caesar. Caesar is packing up his bag with the chocolate-covered panties, and he's saying, that he's sad that the woman of his dreams has broke his heart, all right? And that, you know, he has tried calling, he has texted, and no answer. So he has to take his butt back home. But don't you fear, y'all. Okay? He is going to work twice as hard. He is going to save up his money so he can fly to Ukraine to be with the woman he loves. As Carol Ann said in my comments, he don't care nothing about you hoes. He's gonna go find his woman. Caesar is a whole mess, all right? Caesar really think in his head that he is going to fly to Ukraine to meet Maria and gonna live happily ever after. Like when she sees him, she's just gonna be just blown away by Caesar and just marry this man. Caesar a fool, a delusional fool, okay? Caesar don't have a pot to piss in. He barely got to the Bahamas. Remember? Insufficient funds. Okay? But he's going to save up every bit of money that he can get just so he can go to the Ukraine. To a woman who don't care nothing about him. Nothing. Honey, Caesar. Woo! He's a special kind of special, but that's it for Caesar, y'all. Alright, guys? Alright, I think that's it. I think I have hit everybody. Alright, this was the episode of Drunks and Sexual Frustration. That's what this episode was, child, because honey, this was a mess. Alright? So, y'all know the drill. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next week, friends, bye.